How about this one? Yep.
The patterns are kind of distracting.
Yes. Like, so this like the bricks and all that is like a complete no-no in the visualization field. They really don't like it because it's distractive for no reason. So we don't like, that's called Moiré pattern, I think. So you don't want that. What else is not great? Yeah.
It takes me a while to go from what everything means, because I need to go from like the bottom left, like the purple, and then go back up to finish no school, and be like, okay, then what is the other one? I'm continuously bouncing up and down. Like if they can have that information closer to where I'm actually looking, that would help a lot.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and also kind of those are two categories we're looking at, right? It seems like when they finish school and then the GPA, so I would kind of split that somehow.
So
You're making next to each other and also have the bar graphs just like in two groups or something.
Maybe, yeah. So this is something about maybe about the substance of the data, that maybe the finishing school and the GPAs, because then we don't know whether, so I think these are years of college, and then this is, so all of these ones are basically finished 4 years, but are different GPAs, so it's not very clear from the legend, certainly. Yeah.
The income in thousand, what unit is that in?
Yes, so we might need to have that. What's another one? A little bit more subtle, but quite important. Yeah.
The intervals are not the same within the years or the GPAs?
Yes, so this is a way of, so it would be nice to know whether this corresponds to like a third of the graduates or something like that. Yeah.
We're not starting at zero, so it's skewing the relative importance of each one if you don't
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of like violating the principle of don't lie about the data, this actually lies about the data. It doesn't lie, because if you read it, you can know that it starts at 400. But if we don't start a graph, a bar chart at 0, we give a completely misleading sense of the proportional changes. So naturally, what we do when we see a bar chart is we want to compare the proportion. So I'm saying this guy and this guy, I'm saying, oh, the guys who have finished 3 years of school earn 3 times as much than the guys who have finished 1. Of course, that's not true. That's not even in the graph. But my eyes are going to think that before I even have time to think about it. So this is actually misleading. So not starting a bar chart at 0 is, in some instances, you might want to do it for whatever reason, but that's not, that's not right. It's not the right, because it's literally lying about the data. So that's a big one. Then we have our friends, the grid lines, that are kind of unnecessary, probably. After you're just lying about the data, adding grid lines to interpret it seems a little bit over the top. And then it's also very, very elongated, which, because of the legend is here, and so that further increases the sense of this like massive difference between them. Not to say there is no difference, but that, yep.
Is it also a problem that words aren't capitalized a lot? Or is that, like, that definitely bothers me, but I don't know if that's an actual
Capitalization, you would capitalize finish no school, finish 1 year, etc. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would also add some capitals that wouldn't hurt. Oh, here is a lovely one. It has a slightly like 1990 feel to it. So what's wrong with this one? What's wrong with this one?
3D.
Yeah.
Give me a 3D. It's like 3D. It used to be all the rage. I have a very senior colleague who still has Excel graph in 3D. I don't know, he discovered this template many years ago and hasn't figured out the chance. So you already know that. There's really no point to present things in 3D when it's not in 3D. It doesn't add anything. It makes it very busy. It actually makes it harder for the eyes to see what is going on. And the worst is the 3D pie chart. For a reason I'm going to clear in a minute, the 3D pie chart. First of all, pie charts people don't love. Visualization people don't love. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the 3D pie chart because you move it, you tilt it this way. So the 3D pie chart actually makes sure that we cannot properly evaluate the angles. So the 3D pie chart is like totally wrong, to be avoided at all costs. Now, mind you, sometimes we don't want 3D. For example, if you want to represent a double a bivariate density, we've done that in 2D. You can do it as a contour map, but it's kind of nice sometimes to show peaks and valleys, etc. So sometimes you might want 3D to represent something which actually has 3 dimensions, but don't use 3 dimensions to represent 1 dimension. Then the eyes need to make all this effort to think about it. I don't know why at some point someone thought it was the thing to do. So that's the big one. Avoid the 3D chart. Of course, there is, million percentage signs, and then you got them again here. So in case you missed that this is percentages, it comes back here again. There are grade lines. Becomes very difficult to read this thing.